Hi, I'm ActiveSteve for Get Out There magazine. Today I'm reporting from the Raid Pulse Adventure Race. The sun's out surprisingly. I got my passport, my map, I'm ready to go. We're about 30 minutes from the start.
Before any racing, racers first had to sign in, pick up their race kit, and then prepare their maps at the race briefing. The race featured a paddle start, and while you might think this might make it easy because you can just follow all the boats, the race was actually set up such that you could make a few different choices on how to do this paddle section. All in all, there were 3 regular checkpoints and 3 advanced checkpoints to get in this section. And regardless of which way you chose, you had the option of doing some portaging. And by portaging, I mean you could drag your boat or you could carry your boat. While the regular checkpoints were mainly on the water, the 3 advanced checkpoints gave racers the option to get out of their boats and do some trekking and navigation to find the more remote locations. All checkpoints were worth the same amount of points. But of course, if you wanted to win the race, it was advantageous to get as many of the advanced checkpoints as you could, because that would give you the most number of points. Soon enough, it was time to drag the boat out of the water and move to the next section.
So here we are at Summit CP4. Apparently there's some bugs, but the view is good, and it's time to keep racing.
The next part of the race was a trek and a bike. Right off of the water, we got to run up to the top of a mountain to grab a checkpoint before running down to transition and grabbing our bikes. While we started out on some nice trails, which were easy to follow, this soon kind of devolved into bushwhacking, as we call it, or hike-a-bike. And in fact, a lot of teams had a hard time finding the next transition zone, and we ended up carrying our bikes down through these woods to find a place where our bags were left for the next section.
Sometimes you get it first try. Headed straight up the mountain here, pick up this gorgeous checkpoint at the summit. Rolling hills, water below. This is what adventure racing is all about. Another great spot for a checkpoint. CPA 5.
After the last trek section, which featured 3 regular checkpoints and 2 advanced checkpoints, it was back onto the bikes to get 2 regular checkpoints and 2 advanced if you made the cutoff. However, again, we had some rather challenging terrain to deal with and some very faint trails that we had to follow. In fact, at one point, we were actually rolling through what felt like a river in the middle of the trail. All in all, though, it was some great biking and we had a lot of fun.
I'm still getting all the checkpoints, but unfortunately, I've lost my passport. I'm in the final biking leg. Still nice out, but tough race.
As with all adventure races, the toughness actually caught up to some teams and led to some mechanical problems on the bike. However, once you rolled through that finish line, it was a great feeling.
So here I am at the finish line, just finished the race. It was a tough little course. Challenged everyone out there, but the weather stayed out and we didn't have any rain. It was a great day. And of course, at the end of any good race, there's always a beer to have to celebrate the victories.
And finally, as with any good adventure race, things ended up with a great post-race meal, as well as a nice award ceremony to recognize all the efforts of all the volunteers and the racers out on the course.
Well, that does it for me from this year's Raid Pulse race. The sun wasn't out, but it also wasn't raining, and I managed to snag 3rd in the solo category. All in all, a great day of racing.